One of my favorite things to do is to sell to rich people with content. So I'm gonna go through what type of content attracts rich people and tie all of that together with all the top lessons that I've learned on how to pre-sell people with content before they ever hop on a sales call. Because once they hop on a sales call and all objections are pre-handled, they are so bought into you that all you need to do is answer 1 to 2 questions and just collect the payment. If you're new to this channel, I just take all the top lessons that I've learned from working with some of my clients like Oscar Vitale and Jake Tran and a few other 7-figure info businesses, and I give those lessons to you on YouTube. The first step is to attract rich people. And there are 2 ways, which is organic and paid. And we're gonna go through both. In order to attract rich people, all you need to do is to solve rich people's problems. Now, when I say solving rich people's problems, a lot of people think what I'm talking about is like, oh, it needs to be very niche down, and I need to niche down on rich people's problems, and I need to help 7-figure entrepreneurs get to 8 figures, I need to 8-figure entrepreneurs get to 9 figures, and no, you don't. I was with a psychotherapist who works with 7 to 8 to 9-figure entrepreneurs who helps them get over their bad habits and break limiting beliefs. I was like, yo, so what are the most common problems that you help these rich people solve, like 7 to 8 to 9-figure entrepreneurs? And he said, bro, it's the exact same problems that 6-figure entrepreneurs and 5-figure entrepreneurs and 9-to-5 workers have. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, man, there are literally 9-figure entrepreneurs who are addicted to or addicted to Instagram reels, or addicted to sex, or addicted to scrolling, or addicted to bad food. It's the exact same thing. And they have the exact same reasons that are holding them back as people who are completely broke. I say, wait, that's weird. So what you need to understand is that there is no point in niching down. What you need to find is a problem that solves the niche audience that you want to have, and that also solves the broad audience. For example, I have an offer on inbound client acquisition. I cannot make a video about the top 7 books on increasing your productivity, because that's just going to attract the wrong audience. But what I want to make are just videos on how to scale your business with a personal brand. When I do that, not only do I serve the broad audience, the 99% of people who will just enjoy this completely free of charge, but I will also serve the top 1% people who actually want to buy from me and who want to work with me one-on-one. Now, I'm helping 99% of people completely free of charge, but I'm also targeting the rich people who I want to work with. I have a quite high value offer. We've scaled some of my clients to 7 figures a year now very successfully, and we've done all of that through marketing and through personal branding. And if you are interested, there is a link at the top of the description. So you need to find content that is going to serve the 99% who are not qualified and the 1% who are qualified. To be honest, it's probably not 90% and 1%. It's probably around 70 to 30% or 80 to 20%, depending on how broad your product is. But at the end of the day, you can imagine that there will be a unqualified audience, but we could basically replace this with unqualified, and then this is basically just qualified. And that is all that you need to know. Now, if you want to find content that should serve both of these audiences, we just need to make sure that we find a problem that both rich people have and that people have who aren't qualified. For example, I'm going to teach people how to build personal brands. So if I do that, I will attract people who want to build personal brands to scale their business. That could be somebody at 10K a month. That could be somebody who's completely broke and who just wants to learn from me from a free content. Or that could be somebody who makes 100K a month right now and wants to get to 8 figures or 9 figures a year. So that is going to serve the unqualified and the qualified and will then attract rich people. Now, the problem is that a lot of people think, hey, if I don't niche down, I will attract too many people who are unqualified. If there is a very straightforward way, which is only to target rich people, why are we using this zigzag kind of workaround method instead of just going all the way from here to here? The reason why is actually quite simple. Social media is not built for niche content. That's not how organic works. Social media is built to target as many people as possible and keep them on the platform for as long as possible. So if you have a video that only serves a very specific audience, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok will be very cautious to show your content to more people, because as soon as it does, it realizes only a small percentage of people are actually interested in this. So why would YouTube show your niche content to its audience when it can take a broad content that will serve the niche audience that you want to target, but that also serves the thousands of other people who also clicked on your video? Of course it will pick number 2, because then more people stay on the platform per viewer, and therefore more ads will be watched for YouTube, for Instagram, for TikTok, so the platform makes more money. Niching down is not built into the platforms, and you must understand that if you actually want to have success in content. A lot of people niche down and they wonder why they don't grow. It makes no sense. You can't sell niche products to broad audiences and simultaneously have a huge impact on thousands, if not millions, if not billions of lives with your broad content and make a ton of money from that. More money than if you just niche down. But your middle funnel, like your bottom funnel, can very easily filter out people who are unqualified for your sales team very well. And that is when we use things like direct response or the right pitches. I just pitched to you and I told you that I helped one of my clients get to 7 figures a year. Somebody who's making no money at all and is a complete beginner won't be interested in that because he's trying to get to 6 figures or 5 figures. And if he does, he will realize inside my funnel that this offer is only for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are at around 5K to 10K to 20K a month, but not for people who are at a completely beginner stage. That first of all. But if that is not enough, you still have direct response, you still have ads, right? And you still have marketing. And within that marketing, you can be very specific about somebody's external situation, right? If I'm gonna have a health product, I can describe somebody's external situation right now. And a broke people's external situation is you're grinding your life where you're making no money and you're still wanting to focus on your health, but you're just not healthy. A rich person's external situation will be you've got the money, you've got the status, you've got the success, you've got the recognition, but you still look into the mirror and you don't really feel healthy. Whenever you go for a run, you're really fucking tired and you wake up completely fucking tired and you wish you would just have more energy for things outside of your business, for your relationship, for your wife, for your kids, for this and that. That will attract rich people who are older because we're talking about their kids and we're talking about their accolades that they've all achieved inside their life. That is how you filter for rich people. Once you have retargeting ads, Meta will use pixels to figure out which people funnel through and actually click on the link and actually buy the product or sign up for a call, and then we'll send that back to the system and we'll filter for rich people and think, wait, so these broke people actually never actually signed up because the external situation just didn't fit the product. We can actually go so far to include the pricing inside the VSL. That's what some people do as well. If I have an 18K offer, I'll tell them inside the VSL, my offer is 18K. If you don't have the money, that's cool. And what pixels will filter for, again, are just people who are qualified, who have certain interests. So it's very easy to filter for rich people. Now that we know how to attract rich people, we must understand how to actually pre-sell people, because we don't want to hop on sales calls with rich people and talk to them for 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 minutes, have all this conversation and all this talk. We actually just want to hop on a sales call with people who are completely ready to buy and who just want to know how they can pay you. Like you'll just tell them the price and you collect the payment and that's it. That is where we want to get. You won't get there immediately, but I'll show you how to get there in the next few months. Pre-selling people. Now we've attracted rich people. Now we actually want to know how to create content that sells, and that is through pre-selling. It's actually a very simple system. Let's say that this is your top funnel, and from your top funnel there will be people who funnel through to your landing page, and at your landing page they will book a call or they won't book a call. From here is the point where you will start to collect data immediately, because you will now find out why people booked a call, and once you know why people booked a call, you can now make more people want to book a call just by having a form inside your page, which is quite simple. Just ask them, why did you decide to book a call with us? And if they find out, hey, I actually resonated a lot with you trying to retiring your mom, or you being so dialed into fitness, or I just think that your offer stands out a lot, you can now ask them on the sales call, why did you think that our offer stood out a lot? Same as with low ticket product. You can also just walk them through a type form and ask them, why did you buy from us, right? Now, after finding out why people booked, you actually want to find out why people bought or didn't buy, right? So there's two ways. Somebody buys or somebody doesn't buy. And you want to collect them and put them all into one storage. If I find out that a lot of people don't buy because of the same reason, then I can pre-handle that objection in my content. If I find out that a lot of people buy because of one certain reason and there's a pattern, then I will double down on that reason why people buy from me over and over and over and over and over again. It might just be a character trait of yours that people find very interesting, that people like about you. And you want that to be out there and really dominate the content that you're creating so that everybody buys from you because of that exact reason. Now, the reasons why people buy from you or don't buy are basically just beliefs. Do people believe that they should buy from you or don't believe? And that can be broken down into 7 types of beliefs: pain, doubt, cost, desire, money, support, and trust. Some of these beliefs can even easier be built through content than through sales calls, and some less. If you look at pain, it's basically the pain of a problem. They believe that their pain causes them a lot of problem. And doubting that they can do it themselves. Cost, the cost of opportunity, meaning the cost of not going forward. Desire is the desire of the dream situation. Money is willingness. How willing are they to give up their money? And support is support by a partner. Might be a business partner, might be a friend, might be a spouse. Trust, trusting that you are superior and your product is superior in comparison to other products that are very similar to yours. And you must understand that, for example, if I share a lot of stuff and I post like an Instagram baddie on Instagram, for example, I can build a lot of trust because they'll find out a lot about me that they resonate with or don't resonate with, and that will build trust with them because you're more unique than others. I will automatically assume that a product is superior for me if I like the person or if I resonate with a person. If I find out that Aman Ghazi retired his mom and he has a great dating life and he dresses well and he has the lifestyle that I want, and I will want these things, and I'll think, all right, this product is perfect. It is superior to other products because I want to retire my mom. I want to have a great relationship and I want to dress old money and I want to have this lifestyle. So it's all those 4 things that you can actually not build on a sales call so much. Sure, you can, but it's way easier in content, right? The same as with support. Now, support, on the other hand, is completely up to them. You will need to do that on a sales call, or they will just ask their partner right from the get-go, and they can show them your content, but that probably won't happen. But so you will need to solve that on the call. The same is with money. How willing is somebody to spend money on your offer, right? The more case studies you show them, the more stories you tell, the more you share about your product, the more often you talk about your product, the more willing they will be to give up their money because they realize all these people have had results, and I've seen that over the last 2 months, and I've seen that consistently. So they will consistently see that you're getting them results, so they think, hey, I'm willing to give up my money. Same as with desire. If you show them the lifestyle that you live or the lifestyle that your clients live, or you show them the results of your clients, they will have the desire to have the same, the dream situation that they want to get in. And if you're in that dream situation or your clients are and you show them, you can increase the desire. The same as with costs. If you see that everybody else is getting crazy results and you're such a great guy and you're literally living the life, they are realizing I am in a up situation right now. And you must understand that on a sales call, you need to make them aware of that situation, but through content, they will be aware of that situation automatically, right? If I watch your content of the next hour, or the next day, or the next week, they actually realize in what fucked up situation they are in comparison to yours. Is actually quite easy to sell the product because they do all of this stuff on their own. They realize how much they are giving up by not buying your opportunity in their day-to-day life, something that you cannot tap in when you're on a sales call. You have an hour to do so, right, on a sales call. Whereas in your content, you have weeks to do so because they'll watch your content over the next few weeks. Now, doubt. You can cause people to doubt themselves on social media, but you shouldn't do that because then your brand will just die and people will pick up on it. And pain is probably something that you will need to cause inside the sales call, which is basically just to point out their problem with them. So we're basically saying all that you need to do inside a sales call is point out their pain, their problem, possibly make them doubt that they can do it themselves, and possibly, if it comes up, make them come to the conclusion that their partner would support them. But maybe you don't. Maybe all you need to do is actually to point out their problem, show them the solution, and literally collect the payments. Because your content did the rest. It might be, it might not be. But yeah, I hope that you learned a lot about how to create content that makes rich people buy. The video is over, but if you want to learn how to attract an audience of buyers, of rich people, how to nurture them and pre-sell them, and how to then sell to them inside your content, all of that is inside our consultancy Audiencia. All of our clients get amazing results. It's the first link in the description. I just want to thank you for your time, and I hope that I could help you today. Bye-bye.